So I've been working on the Serger Ultra Lock. Got it all cleaned, serviced, and everything working good. I sharpened the lower cutter because it was really dull, and adjusted the cutter up and down, and so it's cutting beautifully. So the first thing I did was I looked at this piece here. I did a few trial runs. This one was what I was getting close, and let me grab a pointer here. So this stitch here wasn't very good, but what you can see is the material, when the rolled hem, when you adjust the lower looper, it pulls the upper looper over the top and forms a little, it folds the material over and stitches it in. Well, the stitch length was a little bit too long, but what I noticed was that there wasn't enough material to fold over. So what I did was I came up in here where the cutter is, and I have to make some adjustments to move the cutter, the lower cutter knife assembly, the whole piece. I have to move it over to the right so that it cuts more fabric to feed into the stitch. So once I did that, you can see up here there's a lot more material that's being folded over. See here, there's hardly any. You can see the cut edge of the blue fabric here. So I got a lot more material folding over. So the result is on the other side, it's got a much better looking stitch. So how that translates into this material here that you're using, which is really tough material to sew because you have a couple of challenges here. One is the material, that the stretchy side is highly elastic, and when you stretch it, what happens to the material, whoops, I got a little close up here, when it stretches, it begins to come apart. And that creates a problem for the pokies, what I call the pokies. That's what pokes through. In fact, in the beginning, it's even hard to grab the material as it starts to sew because it stretches it slightly and there's not enough meat there, even though I have the stitch width really far out so that there's a lot of material being folded over for the rolled edge. It starts to pull apart and it has a tough time grabbing. I mean, it's no problem. It grabs pretty fast, but there is at the beginning. So anyway, for the non-stretchy side of the material, it's got a beautiful stitch. It's folding over beautifully. It's a beautiful rolled edge. Of course, because it's kind of tight, it tends to roll a little bit, but that's just the nature of this fabric. Now on the stretchy side, or on the stretchy end, I had to move the differential feed around a little bit. I went from the 1.0 all the way up, looks like it was one notch up from the 2.0. So at the beginning here, I got it to catch right away. But you see there's a little bit of pokies coming through. As I got going down the line, it was actually quite good. I don't know why it changed here, and we got a little bit of pokies, but I really can't adjust it anymore because if I adjust this cutter blade out to actually leave more material, what's going to happen is there's going to be too much material in this rolled edge, and if there's too much material, it's going to stick out and it's going to create the material is going to pop out between the stitches and poke out. The material itself is going to poke out a lot more than this, and it'll be really ugly. So I think I've found the balance between what we need for the stretchy end and the non-stretchy side, and I think that's about as close as it can possibly get. It's actually quite nice. I'm not sure exactly what you do more of and what you're looking for, but that's the best balance I can get for the rolled edge.